Hi guys, Jeff Hetherington here. I want to talk to you about the one thing that affects everything else we do in our business and our personal lives. This one thing affects our mindset, our headspace, our energy levels, our ability to cope with things that are thrown at us we weren't expecting, our ability to cope with tragedies and triumphs, our ability to maintain our intention, to think clearly, and basically get things done. Now, it's not food, it's not alcohol or lack of alcohol, it's not exercise. It's a really basic thing. It's sleep. I was talking to an ex-client the other day, and he's actually just started taking a melatonin supplement. The reason being, he's had a really rough year. His business has had lots of ups and downs. He's had quite a few personal ups and downs. So he's been highly stressed. But the main side effect is he hasn't been sleeping. So he's been having a lot of alcohol. So alcohol is really funny in that sense that it gives you that distance. You tend to go to sleep really quickly, but then you wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't go back to sleep. And then, of course, you wake up in the morning, you feel like crap because you're hungover, your energy levels are down. So he decided that after a couple of months of that and trying other things, he was trying meditating at night, he was trying listening to binaural beats at night time, he was trying all sorts of things. No caffeine, high caffeine, all that. Anyway, nothing was working. So what he did was he went out and ordered and got some 5 milligram melatonin tablets. He takes one a night, and he's done that for the last 2 weeks, and he sleeps like a baby. Now, I'm not suggesting we'll run out and buy melatonin because it's a supplement, and like all other supplements, whether they're based on natural things or not, there's probably side effects down the track. You also don't want to habituate to needing melatonin to get to sleep. My point is, if you're having a rough time and you're not getting sleep, if you're not sleeping, it's really making the rest of your life really tough. You need to get sleep. Now, how much sleep you actually need's up to you. They say the classic's 8 hours. People like Gary Vee and The Rock get by on 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever. I'm still not convinced that can be healthy. I tend to find 7 hours works really well for me. If I can get 7 hours kip, I'm pretty good. But I've got a friend who needs 10 hours, and they've always needed 10 hours from the time they were a little tacker to now in their late 50s. They still need 10 hours to fully function. So first thing is, you need to figure out how much sleep you really need, not how much sleep you think you need or how little sleep you can get away with, but how much sleep do you really need to go to bed and wake up feeling rested and full of energy, clear of head, and like you can take the world on. That's the first thing, and that might be 6, 7, 8 hours. All right, it's unlikely to be 5 hours or 4 hours. It's probably somewhere between 6 to 8. That's the first thing. Second thing is to consider how you're going to make going to sleep easier. So there's all these things like, don't have coffee after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm one of those people, I can sit up in bed and have coffee at night time and roll over and go to sleep. Doesn't affect me. But again, if you know coffee and caffeine affects you, then cut it out a bit earlier so you can sleep. Third thing, try to go to bed around about the same time every night. We all get binge watching, get caught up watching things on Netflix or whatever, and that sometimes creeps our bedtime up. But try and set a bedtime that means you can go to bed at that time at night and get, say, your 7 hours sleep and wake up the next morning. So for me, I try to get to bed between 10 and 10:30, which means I'm waking up 5:36, and that works pretty well for me. So there are three things. They talk a lot about blue lights on screens, and don't use screens in your bed and all that sort of stuff. There's two really easy fixes for that. One is you can go onto eBay, you can buy blue blocker glasses, which are just like a sunglass, and they take out the blue wave spectrum from your devices. So that cuts that down. The idea being the blue wave messes around with your pineal gland, so that messes with your natural biorhythms. Or you can simply get hold of an app which you download, which literally is a blue wave blocker, and you set it to turn on automatically at, say, 9 o'clock at night. It dims down your screen, it cuts out the blue light, and therefore you're not getting that effect, so you can go to sleep there. The next thing to do is try and control your head. Now, at night time when I go to bed, I'll read, but I'll read fiction. I won't read business books because I find fiction soothing, and part of my head always knows it's not real. But if I'm reading a business book late at night, what happens is my head starts spinning off into potentialities possibilities. So I might actually end up getting energized and have my head racing. So I try not to do that. The next thing is to be really able to sequester in your head the things going on in your life that you can affect, the things that you can do something about today, and the things you can't do anything about till tomorrow. 2020 has been a rough year for a lot of us. So if you've got a lot of time and worry going on, then what you need to be able to do is not lie there in bed with your head rolling around worrying about how am I going to pay the bills, get clients, etc., etc. You need to go, it's 10 o'clock at night, there's nothing more I can possibly do today. I'll do it tomorrow. So let my subconscious mind figure out some smarter ways to do things tomorrow and try and not worry. Easier said than done, I know, but with practice it can happen. You can certainly listen to some new age music. You can listen to binaural beats, that type of stuff, if that helps you as well. So it's a combination of things. So you might want to try melatonin. It works quite well. Again, you don't become habituated to it, but it's it'll help you get over the slump. You certainly need to try and go to bed at the same time every night. Try not to figure out what your caffeine is, figure out how much sleep you need, all the things I've mentioned here. The key thing is we actually do know how to sleep and we do know how much sleep we need. Just that we have this little dialogue that often tells us we don't, or we've listened once too often to some of the gurus or someone we follow. It might be The Rock who gets up 4 o'clock every morning, but he doesn't go to bed to midnight, so he gets by on 4 hours sleep a day every day. Well, good luck to him, but I hate to see what happens to him in 5 or 10 years. It's not good for your health. But we know this. So real message from today is all the other stuff you do in your life will be adversely or positively affected by the quality and the quantity of your sleep. So if you're not sleeping well, apply that wonderful mind of yours to how can you change the environment and the circumstances so you can start sleeping better. Do some reading on it, look it up, it's cutting out caffeine, whatever it is, experiment. Give yourself 3 weeks and figure out, for 3 weeks, I'm going to try some different things for 3 nights in a row. So 3 weeks, 21 days, 7 different things I can try 3 nights in a row. If you try one thing and it works, hold on to that, but still try some other things. So eventually you'll end up with your evening sleep ritual. You'll know what time you're pretty much going to go to bed, what you're going to drink, what you're going to read. Are you using blue blocker glasses or a blue blocker app, etc., etc. Bottom line is, when we take things on board and we create routines, we do them long enough, they become habits, and habits become almost like a software shortcut for us. We start doing things without thinking. So if the habits are positive ones, that's a good thing. And in terms of sleeping, that's what you need to be thinking about doing. You really need to be thinking about, how can I make a good night's sleep a habit and not a rarity? I'm Jeff Hetherington, the Profitability Coach. As always, 3 things. Be well, stay safe, take care. I'll talk to you soon.